Hi, welcome. This is a very unplanned cook and chat. But I made it the other night, talked about it on Sprints on like someone else's channel. And they were like, oh my God, that sounds so good. And so I was like, you know what? I have 2 extra in the fridge. I'm totally gonna make it again because it was so delicious. So what are we making tonight, guys? I have some ribeye here, and it's the recipe I found on Pinterest. I'll share the link down in the description box. It's also, I think, on Instagram. I don't have Instagram though, but you can like access Instagram without like really being on Instagram. Just in case anyone didn't know that. So it was pretty good. I did cook it a little bit differently than they did, but it was still pretty good. You know, like, you feel me, guys? Anyways, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna make this because it was so amazing. And it will also give me time to decompress because, oh my God, guys. Let me wash these potatoes. So we'll get to what my day was like because... Anyways, I'm gonna be cooking this a little bit differently than I did the other night because it was good the other night, but I like my steak to not be as well done as this lady up, okay? So, like, it was good. Like, I'll eat, like, pretty much well done steak. But, like, when I reheated my leftovers for work, it was, like, cooked it a little bit more. So I think I just want to, like, not cook it as long, the meat. So that, you know, when I microwave it, it's not like that. She also made them in foil, and I feel like that's a mess. Like, because you're gonna see why. We're gonna use butter to cook on it, and I feel like as the butter melts, it's just gonna make a mess. You're gonna pick up this foil pack and it's gonna spill everywhere. So I put them in glass dishes. I have these little tiny, like, I put like a serving of like food in these a lot of times because then I can just bring this whole thing to work, which is what I did the other day. Like, I had all the stuff in the bowl and I was like, look, here's my lunch. Made it super easy for me. But we're gonna do that. So I preheated my oven to 350, okay? And then I sprayed that down with olive oil stuff. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I washed all my potatoes, guys. I have 5 of them here because I felt like that was a good amount. Like, they're kind of little potatoes, you know? And do you guys really need to watch me chop potatoes like for the 8th time on this channel? I think at this point we know I like potatoes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dice the potatoes, you know, into like however big of chunks you want. I just put them like bite size. Anyways, let's get into what my disaster of a day at work was. So I work with this doctor on Thursdays. He's nice, okay? He's nice, but here's the problem. He is so super clingy. And what do I mean by that? Guys, I couldn't pee today at work without him looking for me. Leave me alone. I have to pee. Jesus Christ. I left for a little bit. There was no patients ready for him. And I left and I went to go get myself a mug of tea because I was like, man, it's a little chilly because they've been working on our heating at work this week. So I was like, it's a little chilly. I'm going to make myself a hot cup of tea to like warm up a little bit because my hands were cold. And so I go to do that and this man comes looking for me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's going to take me 2 minutes to heat up water in the Keurig for a cup of tea. Leave me alone. He like kept bugging me and then... he absolutely pissed me off by 9 a.m. today. Like, so he's overly cautious, which I guess is, you know, not a bad thing. He diagnoses a lot of people's stuff. Anyways, that's not what he was doing today, which I'm like actually surprised that didn't happen today. But he's like, there were people who needed testing, okay? Okay, guys, I have half of my potatoes chopped. So since I'm doing 2 servings of this, we're just gonna dump the potatoes in a dish, you know? You're just gonna layer them in your dish. Anyways, we'll keep cutting these other potatoes. So this first patient, everything was fine, whatever. IOP check, which is an eye pressure check. Intraocular pressure is what that stands for. And we do that, blah, 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 fine, and everything's fine. Except for the guy, like, totally didn't know what we were doing. And I'm like, you don't even know why you're here, buddy, do you? It's okay. It's okay. A lot of them actually don't know. We see a lot of elderly patients. They actually don't know what they're doing half the time. But that's not really the problem. What the problem was is that our second patient, so like I went and worked it up because our one girl called off again, which I feel like this girl calls off literally every week. Like, you are sick every single week. You think about going to a doctor? That's not normal. Like, girl, you've been having this cough. She has this like really mucusy cough, like all the time. She's had it for months. I'm like, you haven't thought about going to the doctor and getting that checked out? Normal people just don't sit around and mucusy cough all the time. And if she wants to say it's allergies, get your damn allergies taken care of. Like, what are you doing? I'm done cutting potatoes. Anyways, that's not what it is. But anyways, that girl wasn't at work today. So I was like, I'm gonna go work up the next patient. He doesn't have anyone else. That's his next one. I'm gonna go work it up real quick so we can keep moving. So I do that, and the patient doesn't want glasses, which is fine. It's fine. He just got glasses at a different place. He comes to us for his glaucoma management. That's completely fine. So I'm gonna go do your updated glaucoma testing that you're due for, because actually you're overdue for it, because at this point we have to, like, you're supposed to do certain testing every year. It'd been like a year and a half. So I was like, okay, we really need to update your testing. So I go to update. I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna like dilate him because he doesn't want glasses, so we can just dilate. Like, who cares, right? And the doctor generally doesn't care about that, and he didn't care. The problem is I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him dilate, and then I'll do the updated testing, because it's called an optical coherence tomography. It's an OCT for your eye, of your optic nerve or your macula. We do them all the time. Okay, I need to wash off my broccoli here. Okay, next step is we're gonna do some broccoli. I brought some broccoli, and I'm just gonna chop off the little florets, you know? Okay, back to the story here. Because it's broccoli, you just cut it like that, okay, guys? I just literally do that. So back to the story. I'm like, okay, so we'll update your testing, but to get the best testing images, it works better if they're dilated. So I was like, okay, well, I'll let you dilate for like 10 minutes or so, because technically dilation takes like 15-20 minutes. I was like, I'll let him dilate for like 10 minutes, and then I'll bring him down and I'll do his testing. No big deal, right? This man, I told him, and I was like, I'm going to do the testing. And then I said, I'm going to go down and get your BIO, which is your binocular indirect ophthalmic scope, and it's to do dilated eye exams. So I was like, I'm going to go down and get that because it's on the charger. And then when I come back, I'll be able to get this guy's imaging, because he'll be dilating long enough. This motherfucking man today, and I'm talking about the doctor here. He was really testing my patients. I'm dead serious. He goes in there and he's like, I'm just gonna go in. Why? He's not ready. Jesus Christ, what are you gonna do? He doesn't have anything done. He's not here for glasses. You don't need to do anything yet. You're gonna do your exam, and then you're gonna waste more time because you're gonna make me go down and do the testing and then bring him back and waste up more of the exam chair. Like, what are you doing? Like, just do it all at once. What the hell? And this man then has the audacity to look at me when we get there and goes, I think he's ready for his OCT now. And then proceeds to do part of the exam. I'm like, you literally, why? I told you what I was doing. You agreed to it. And now you're not doing that. What the fuck? Okay, so all the broccoli is chopped up at this point. So I'm just gonna like divide it in between my dishes. Okay, I'll bring my dishes over here for this. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck? He was like pissing me off so bad at this point. And it just irritated me because you agreed to it, and then you change your mind and you're like, actually, I'm gonna go and do this. And then like, he's so clingy, and then he like just sits there and stares at me, and it pisses me off. It was pissing me off all day. He just like kept staring. Just because I'm still typing on the computer, you can lead the patient out of the exam room. It was like irritating me so bad today. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this man? He was being like extra super clingy with everything. What I'm gonna do is season my potatoes and broccoli. So what I seasoned them with the other night, which she did other seasonings in it. I don't have all those seasonings. But I'm gonna put a little bit of onion powder on them. And some freshly ground sea salt. And same with some ground black pepper. You can do whatever seasoning you want, guys. Like, I am not the police, you know? Look, I haven't put the spoon away, so that would be perfect. My minced garlic, my love and joy here. no measuring for any of this, guys. You guys know me at this point. No measuring. We don't measure around here. Who measures? And then I took my handy dandy tongs here and I just tossed it around a little bit just to get the seasonings all mixed thoroughly through them, you know? Okay, that's done. So what I need to do next is, because we're cooking in butter, I'm going to take half a stick of butter and divide it up, so 2 tablespoons per dish, like bowl here. And I'll just cube it up and throw it on top of the potatoes and the broccoli. So yeah, this man was just like testing my patience today. He was like, do you want to piss me off? Because you're succeeding at this point. And like I said, I couldn't get a cup of tea. I couldn't go to the bathroom without him like hovering over me today. And I don't know why he was being so damn clingy, but I don't handle clinginess very well. Like, I get so annoyed when people want to cling to me. Like, get off of me. Why are you staring at me, you psycho? Leave me alone at this point. And like, gosh, no, it's just like all these little things that he was doing all day were just like pissing me off. And he's also the type of person who wants to sign his exam notes right away, which is fine. That's admirable. But considering I'm the scribe on it and I like do all the transcription, you need to give me time to do it. And I do not leave work until all of my transcriptions for the entire day are done. I'm not allowed to leave work until all my transcriptions are done. So it's not like I take a long time to do my transcriptions. I stay pretty much on top of my transcriptions for them. So like it takes me, if it's a rough day, it may take me 30 minutes after that patient's exam to finish my exam notes. There are days where it takes me longer, but like also that's a doctor that's super chill. He like is 2 weeks behind on charting anyways, so he doesn't have to sign anything, so it doesn't really matter at that point if I get it done immediately or not. But this man's like psychotic. He's like, I need to sign it immediately. And I'm like, you literally need to give me time to finish transcribing. You know, that whole patient plan discussion that you just had? I need time to transcribe that. Okay, guys. At this point, she threw everything like into the oven with the steak. Like I said, I think the steak was just like a little too done for my liking. So you can throw the steak in here if you want like a really well done steak, but I'm actually just gonna pop these in for like 25 minutes and just like let them cook, the potatoes and the broccoli. So I left sections in the bowl here. I'll bring it closer again so you can see it. So like I left this chunk blank and that's where my steak is gonna go when it's ready. But I'm just gonna pop these bad boys into the oven. And I'm gonna set a watch timer here for 25 because I normally use my phone, but considering that's what we're filming on right now, that's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna cut the steak up here. Also need to bag out real quick. Got my bag. What this is for is because we'll go off on a side tangent right now. So my steak, my ribeye is, if you guys didn't know, I've said this before, my family owns a Angus cattle farm and that is where this is from. So I'm gonna unwrap my steaks and I'm not gonna pan down on them because I know people don't probably want to see my bloody steaks here. But that's what the bag is for. Just to throw the bloody stuff into a separate bag because I'll just bring that out to the dumpster later. So I'm gonna separate my steaks and then I got a different knife for this. I got my big boy just because he cuts a lot nicer and I don't get to use him very often. And I'm just gonna cube the steak at this point. That's really all I'm doing. And I cut off any excess fat because I don't like to eat the excess like chunks of fat. I don't think that's appetizing. Anyways, so he just likes to sign his chart notes right away, which is admirable, like I said, but like you need to give me time. This man would be like 30 seconds after we got out of the room, he's like, are you done with it? No, Jesus Christ, I gotta finish transcribing it. And like I said, he just like sits there and stares at me and it, I'm not about it, guys. Stop looking at me. What is wrong with you? So that's kind of how that day went. It's just been like kind of a rough one at work this week. Like I really didn't try to let it like get to me on Monday. Or Monday was just irritating because like the like staffing, like who does our like schedule, I guess they would be scheduled or wouldn't they, kind of like messed up. This is a chunk of fat, so I'm gonna throw that in the bag to get rid of. Like, they didn't send anyone extra down, and my doctor alone had 25 patients, and theoretically we're supposed to have 10 patients is like the goal, each one of us, like in the clinic staff, just have 10 of them every 4 hours, so like per half a day. This man had 25, and they only gave 2 workups to do that, because I would be scribing on them, so mine would be different. Like, I would do a different part of their exam, and there was 2 doctors, and between both doctors there was like over 30 patients, so you really want them to do 15, and they're slow as hell, and the one girl is new at it, so I give her grace, but the other girl's been there for like 6 months at this point, so I'm sorry, you really don't have an excuse for taking 40 minutes when a workup should take 15. Like, that's ridiculous. I worked up 6 patients in the time it took them to work up 1. Like I said, only the one girl really has an excuse at this point because she's new. It was just so infuriating. Okay, I'm gonna get this bowl so that I can separate the steak by, because I have 2 steaks here. So it was just like absolutely like a shit show, like I said. So I like worked up 6 at the same time that it took them to work up 1. And my numbers for the day, so because it's 10 per half a day, like every 4 hours, so that's like half a day. So our goal is 20. I had 31. Nobody else hit 20. So I like tried not to let it go, like get to me on Monday. I was like, whatever, whatever. Tuesday rolls around, and then the doctor I was with, it's the same doctor I work with on Mondays. He's all huffy and puffy because he was all huffy and puffy on Monday because his schedule was too busy and blah, blah, blah. Well, they didn't send enough help, and so he shouldn't have had that many if they were only going to send them, that they weren't going to like give an extra worker for it and blah, blah, blah. So he's all huffy and puffy, and I like agree with that. Tuesday, he's all huffy and puffy. He don't have enough patients on Tuesday. And I mean, he did. He had a late day. Like, he went from having, 25 on Monday in 4 hours to having 18 in 8 hours. So he was all huffy and puffy about it. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I am not in charge of scheduling patients' appointments. And not to mention, I'm sure this is not a thing everywhere, but like up where I live in Ohio, it's and we have a lot of them here. We have a lot of snowbirds is what we call them. They are people, if you don't wonder what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to cut through this chunk of fat, but it's like really stuck on there. Jesus. I'm also like trying to pull it off, but caught. Jesus, I got it there. We have a lot of Ohio snowbirds, so what happens is we get a lot of people right at the end of the year. One, they want all their stupid benefits. They want to wait till the end of the year. But also a lot of Ohio snowbirds leave right after Christmas. So we become very less busy in January and February because they're all gone. They don't want to be up here in the snow. And so they're gone. So we just become less busy, and like, he's not seeing the people that are like, he doesn't see like young people really. If he's seeing someone young, it's because they have a problem, He's not seeing them because all the snowbirds are down. Look, those are the elderly are the ones who have medical conditions for the most part. There are some younger people, don't get me wrong, and like some people don't leave. Like, we still have some patients, but we literally slow down to like half our normal capacity. And that's just like normal for like this time of the year. It happens every year. It's not anything new. But yeah, he was all like huffy and puffy and pissy on Tuesday, and that's when I like was really starting to piss me off and like irritate me. I was like, getting all irked. And then like yesterday went completely fine. Like, I was doing fine. Like, my doctor on Wednesday, my new doctor, I've been a different doctor. I switched schedules, in January here. Different doctor. Like, she was so chill, and I was like, oh my god, I actually like, I don't want to do this every day because I do like the faster pace of my Monday, Tuesday doctor. But I don't want to do that every day. So it's nice to have these like slower days with this doctor. And I was like, God, and like we're the same age, so we really just get along really well. We're like literally only like 4 months apart, so we have a lot in common. When we get along well and we like have fun, so I don't mind it. But like I said, I won't do it every day. It's just he was so huffy and puffy. And then that doctor today I have, my Thursday doctor, guys, like he irked me. I was like already like kind of irked already this week from Tuesday, and like I'm extra irked now because you won't leave me alone. But thankfully tomorrow is Friday and I have my normal Friday, like my normal Wednesday. It's my new Friday doctor, I guess. So she's super relaxed, super chill. It's the same doctor I had on Wednesday, and I think I'll be fine tomorrow. It's just I was like, I really just needed to get that all off my chest here today because that doctor, man, he was pissing me off today. It's been about 25 minutes later, so I'm gonna season my steak again. Whatever seasonings you want. I'm literally pouring the same stuff I poured on the other stuff on here. Guys, it's just like so good. I'm so looking forward to this. Like, I'm so glad I made it earlier this week because it was so good. I'm so glad I took 2 packs of steak for it. Because, man, it was so good, guys. So good. We have like a minute and a half on that other stuff right now. I'm gonna need to buy more garlic soon. No, geez. My garlic is running out. And for this, we're also gonna cube up the other 4 tablespoons of butter. Again, 2 tablespoons per dish, serving, whatever you want to say. But the thing is with all the butter is I'm just making it juicy. I mean, yes, it is sitting on butter then, but I'm not like licking up the butter, you feel me? I guess I'll just leave those cubes here, I guess. I didn't think this through. I didn't think this entirely through, guys. Oh. It's okay, we'll make do, we'll make it work. Butter. Have I told you guys how much I love these little half sticks of butter I found at the store? Like, they're so much more convenient. Because a lot of times I do just need like 4 tablespoons of butter and not 8. So like these have been super duper convenient. I don't know if I've mentioned how much I love them before. Also, thank you for letting me rant. Oh, look, it's done. Thank you for letting me rant because I needed it after that day. Just put it there. Pour that over there. Put this here. Yeah, I'll bring you guys one. This be what it be looking like right now. What you gonna do is finish cubing your butter because you didn't finish doing that yet. Boom. Boom. All butter is cubed. So we're gonna take our handy dandy tongs and I'm gonna mix the seasoning up on my steak here. If you guys ask me how big these steaks are, I don't know. They're just, I don't know, normal size steaks. I don't know. This is how big they always come in the packages we get them in from the butcher. And you're just gonna slide those in to the extra compartment that we left on purpose in our dishes. And now you're gonna take your cube butters, and I just put more butter in it. You know, make sure you drop some on the steak though, because when you cook butter on steak, delicious. And And then I throw a few more, you know, on the butter and like the potatoes and whatnot. But I feel like it just makes it so much more juicy. It's so good, guys. Great, I'm gonna wash the butter off my hands because they're a little slippery. And we just gonna pop these back into the oven. And this time we gonna do 30 minutes. 30 minutes have passed, so we can put it in the oven now. Ta-da. It's gonna sizzle over there, so here, I'll pick one up so I can show it to you guys. Eat our steak, potato and broccoli bowl, and then I kind of mix it up. I do put A1 on it because I love A1, okay guys? But yeah, there we got it, and then I'm gonna let them cool for a little bit because they're obviously hot. But one of them I'll pack for my lunch tomorrow, and the other one I'm gonna have here for dinner. And I'm really happy with this recipe I found, you know, on the Pinterest of all things. So thank you again for listening to me rant today. There's an easy dinner. Don't ask me how much it costs. I really do not know. I mean, okay, for me this was a very, very cheap meal because literally all I bought was potatoes and broccoli because the steak, you know, comes from my family's farm. So it probably be, I don't know how much steak costs. How much does steak cost anymore, guys? I don't even know. Thank you for coming, and see you next time.